everybody, it is Christine Bertram, and I am coming to you live from the Hive on Thursday, August 4th. We are ready for another fun night of stamping, and that reminds me, when I say the word fun, that reminds me of Mary Gunn and her Fun University. And the reason that's fresh on my mind is because I am the guest crafter tomorrow night on Craft Roulette, you guys. So what does that mean? You're in for a treat. It's the only time you really get to see me fly by the seat of my pants with stamping. So, oh man, let's see if we can find this feed real quick. Oh, I'm live now. Let's see. There it is. Boom. I love it when it pops up right away. So, hi Karen Cotton and Hilda Nell and Gloria. So, Craft Roulette tomorrow, you guys. Oh, I gotta turn the volume down. I was listening to myself. I'm like, that's not good. Hi, Mary Lemke. So tomorrow is Craft Roulette with Mary Gunn, and it starts at 6:30 Central. Show of likes and thumbs ups. Hi, Doris Monson, and hearts. If you guys have ever partook in, hi, Laura Sullivan, in the Craft Roulette with Mary Gunn. It didn't have to be with me. I think I've done, hi, Patsy Roberts from Humid, Oklahoma. I think I've done Craft Roulette now. This is going to be my 5th time. Hi, Jean Maxwell and Carla Lake. So it's fun. Every time I'm a little less nervous. Hi, Judy Bobo. Hi, Mary Carls. Hi, Julie. Oh, you guys are all rolling in. Hi, Sherry Martin and Susie and Hillary. Woohoo! Hi, Diane Bogenhagen. Yeah, so I remember the first time I ever did Craft Roulette, my armpits were really sweaty by the time I was done. You would never know it. Hi, Becky Rohr. But like I was really hot. And I think my adrenaline was on overdrive because I was so nervous. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Sarah. I've done, hi, Deborah Schultz. You guys are all rolling in. Hi, Carla Cordes. Hi, Sharon. So I just remember I was really super nervous going into it because I didn't know what I was going to create. When I'm live with you guys now, I know what I'm doing. Hi, Judy Bobo and Ann Bellinger. So I was really nervous that first time though, and I got really hot, and I was up in my craft room, and it was December actually. Hi, Julie Frost. Hi, Cindy Miller when you join. Hi, Cindy Bassett. Hi, Melanie Miller. And so it just, it took a little bit. And now by the time I did the last one, I didn't even think about it. Renice. Hi, Renice. Your name is not familiar to me. I had to make sure I read it with both my eyes really closely, squinting down at it. So I remember the last time I did it, hi, Vera. I just was like, okay, it is what it is. And I think I'm more relaxed going into it. It's a different kind of stamping. If you guys partake in it, whenever you do Craft Roulette, basically there's parameters. The wheel spins and you get 4 things and you have to follow those 4 things. Hi, Penny Powell and Tiffany Miller. And I remember the wheel's been very kind to me. I must send it really good vibes. Hi, Sharon Rush. And so I get like things that I'm really good at working with. And so I'm good. Hi, Donna Simmer. So if you guys are looking for something fun to do live with Craft Roulette tomorrow, 6:30 Central, I think you can pop on 20 minutes or 10 minutes early at like 20 after or like something like that. They actually changed the program. Hi, Kimberly and Don. Who else was it? Or Carrie. They changed it so that they're going to do all the card submissions before the show actually starts because it's taking, so many people are submitting cards. So you guys, here's the big challenge, okay? I need your help. We always set goals with me because I remember the first time I ever did a Craft Roulette, they hadn't broken 100 people. And I said, we got it. My community of stampers, they will follow and they will join, and they might not stay there the whole time. But I think we peaked at 103 people that were watching. Hi, Carissa. I hope the move is going well for you. I can't wait to see pictures of your craft room when it's done. So I think they had 103. So we met the goal, you guys. And so tomorrow night, Mary Gunn said that they had, in the past, they've been hitting like around 150, 160. And I said, you know what? We can make 175. I know we can. Hi, Christine Domino. So if you're looking for something fun to do, I'd love for you to join to see if we can knock the socks off of Mary Gunn and her Mr. Producer son, Steven, because I set a goal of 175 people. So hopefully you guys can join in for a little bit. And if you decide to want to make a card, hi, Elaine Rebeck, you have until Sunday night to make your card and take a picture and post it. She sends all the instructions on how to do that. So, but if you just want more creative inspiration with ideas for making cards, it's fun to watch it. So yay! Oh, Kimberly's going to be there. I love it. Hi, Susan Reed. So, Craft Roulette, don't forget, I will schedule a reminder tomorrow, the live from the Hive with Mary Gunn, and I'll include the link for it, so you guys have that tomorrow. 3 carloads moved today. Woohoo! So much heavy craft stuff. Yes, punches. When you put like 30 punches in a box, they get to be very heavy. Mary Lemke, the link is actually on YouTube. They have their Craft Roulette show on YouTube, and there's an actual link for me. I can't tell it to you off the top of my head because I always have to go looking for it. I will, when I create my reminder live in the Hive, I'm going to make myself a note to do that. Because it's been on my mind all week from Hive. I'll include the link so that you guys can either copy it and paste it, or you can just save that. So yeah, with link. Okay, I made that note. So, all right, cool. Oh, Vicki Tillett said she started watching the last time I was on for the first time. So that's cool. Yeah, so if we get a lot of crossovers, you guys, Mary Gunn is an amazing crafter as well, and she has a great community of people that she stamps with, and so we love crossing over. So hi Pauline. All right, so if you guys noticed, Tuesday was a little bit busy with my mom, so I didn't get to Tip Tuesday, so I asked Kelly to do a Tip Tuesday meets Technique Thursday on Wednesday. So if you guys missed it, there's a video out there. Hi Marianne. She did a little Technique Thursday, Tip Tuesday, going into more detail with washi tape and making these awesome cutesy little washi tape bats and using this washi tape in a way that you wouldn't traditionally use it, which is putting it on images that you could die cut and punch out. She threw in a tip in there, you guys. So we aligned forces this week. Hi Angela. Hi Simone. Hi Carolyn Ketchmark. Yay! You have your kit for tonight. Yes, Carolyn. I looked at the class list right before, and I had sent it, and your order will cover for this class tonight that we talked about, but I'll call you after class. So, so you guys, we joined forces this week for Technique Thursday. So it's, I tell you, it's always fun, and you guys, I think most of you can relate. If you're a generally busy person that have lots of things going on, it's hard to take vacation because there's a lot of work to prep for the vacation, and then you're gone those days, and then there's a lot of doing stuff that you were supposed to be doing those days that you were gone and playing catch up. And this is what this week was with taking 4 days off last week and putting my phone on airplane mode. It really got me. But that's why we joined forces on those videos. So you can go check them out. Hi, Corinne. All right, Elaine Rebeck, thank you to her. She pointed out that she was trying to finish her last 2 texture chic cards and the texture chic video was not there. And this was about 3 days ago, not yesterday, but the day before, so 2 days ago. And I went and I'm like, no, it's right here. And I went to go get the link to send it to her. And you know what? By golly, that link was gone. The video was gone. So all of the comments, all of everything, even the video was gone. Don't know, have I no clue what happened to it. But I did re-upload the video. So the first thing I do when I end a video, you guys, is I save it to my laptop and then I upload it to YouTube. And so I have 2 copies of it. And so just know that if you are trying to find the link to the video from my email, it's not right anymore. But I did update the links in like the event on Facebook and the event in my website. So yeah, so crazy stuff. We don't know why that happened. Hi, Heather Brenner. Thanks for sharing, everybody. You guys are commenting that you're sharing. I really appreciate that. We have over 2,700 people that are liking my Cards by Christine page, which is awesome. So that texture chic video, you guys, it's there. It's just, I went to go pull the names for the drawing for the cards, and there's only like 3 people because everybody had commented from on the other video that got lost in limbo land. So needless to say, if you go see who those people are that commented, you'll see who winners are for tonight. All right. I did post a new schedule in my website as well. So I'll flip down. You guys can see my my website is cardsbycrispy.com if you're new to me. If you go to the blog and newsletters link, hi Deb Norman, there's a newsletters and files section, and then this is where you guys can get the paper copy of my schedule and print it at home. Hi Marcia Lung from Texas, still in rehab. I hope you're getting better every day though. So if you sometimes you guys, I do include these in your packages when you get card kits from me. So I try to, if I don't, hi Mary Hornke, if I don't have them for my printer and I don't have time to run over and get them, I don't include them in the packets, but sometimes I generally try to. But just know that this is out there and this goes now. It's from August through December. So you guys can get that if you want it. Hi Sandy Wicklander. As long as I got the camera down too, it's Sale-A-Bration time, and we're going to be doing the Kellogg launch party. Woohoo! But you guys were already a week and almost a month into Sale-A-Bration, and so there's only 3 weeks left. But with having the Summer Creative Escape, that like second week, hi Hillary, that second week of July, it just doesn't work to fit the launch party in right away. So some of the things that we talked about, this high Tammy Steckling, some of the things have run out, like the Tree Lots dies and also the soft seafoam and pool party note cards and envelopes. They're gone for good. But I think everything else is there. Plus, they added new stuff, you guys. So I haven't had a moment to put this into, I had my girl print off 2 copies for me, but I will put this in my newsletter and file section so you guys can have easy access to it. But they did add 3 embossing folders, 4 sets of dies, 2 sets of paper, and then the craft boxes. And so these are free with a $50 or a $100 order. Hi, Holly Gentry. So yay. So they did add things. So if you were over the hippos or over getting tree rings paper or over some of the other things that they had, they added stuff to the mix. So that's awesome. And then there was a little bit of buzz going around about these new die sets that they're coming out with to coordinate with the some of the stamp sets that are in the annual catalog and the mini catalog. And so I think they, Stampin' Up, inadvertently sent an email out to all of the customer base that they have. Hi, Cheryl Thomas. And customers got an email saying, because I got it, I know I got it as well. It said that that customers can start purchasing those dies August 1st or something, or August 2nd, but that was a miss email. I don't remember, I didn't see a follow-up saying that it was inaccurate, but these dies are available for demonstrators or discount shoppers right now. Hi, Betty Ray. So if you aren't a demonstrator or discount shopper and you'd love to be, Sale-A-Bration's a great time to sign up. You could be on the Be Happy Stampers team, and then you could start ordering these dies early. And I just realized that I haven't ordered my dies yet. So Karen Cotton, I'll flip the camera down and I'll show you my website again, and then that's where you can get the newsletter. So the newsletter is in the process of being written. I plan to publish it tomorrow or Saturday afternoon. So there's a newsletter section, and I've got every newsletter probably in there for the last 2.5 years, but I didn't do July. I think if you guys remember, I kind of missed July. So you got a video about the September dies. Yeah, I think that customers got them. So just know customers can't purchase these dies yet. I think they start September 1st. And so I'll show you guys. I'm going to put this little flyer out there as well on my website so that you can access it. But it says it's for September 1st through the 30th, and that's for customers. Demonstrators or discount shoppers can order this now through their demo account. But they have we talked about this at some point in the last few days too. Apple Harvest, fresh cut flower, excuse me. Apple Harvest, fresh cut flowers, the Playful Piggy dies, tree trimmings. Oh my goodness, I haven't even looked at those. Wow, look at all those tree dies. Okay, Waterfall Canyon. Whoa, Tyler's gonna love that one. And then the Yeti dies. You guys, I haven't even looked at them that closely. Oh, there's a cute little wagon in here. Okay, so not to tease you guys, but just to make you aware that that is coming. So I know that some people are holding off on ordering. Like I know somebody mentioned that they were gonna order a stamp set, but they can wait and order it as a bundle and get the 10% savings. So those 6 are available with bundles. So, all right, you guys, so that's a little bit about that. So Karen, you had asked about where you can find the newsletter. Go to cardsbychrisb.com, and then you go to the blog and newsletter link, and then newsletter and files. Hi, Carol Schmidt. Yeah, so Anne, there was an email to the demo saying it was an error, but I don't think that Stampin' Up! Sent an email rectifying it to everybody they sent it to incorrectly, which I think they should have done, but I didn't see it come through. So I know, so me knowing that it was an incorrect error of an email, all my customers and all of you that are watching just know that that email was an error. So I don't think Stampin' Up's going to send another email saying it was an error. So I think it's on me to tell you guys that that was an error. So hi, Sue Sorrell. I don't know if I said that already. But these are what we're going to be making tonight, you guys. So this is the Sale-A-Bration catalog launch party meets fun folds class. Hi, Lisa Nealon. So we're gonna make these shortly, but I was a busy bee designing cards this week. I worked yesterday and today trying to get the last of the 2 August classes done, and I am very excited to say that I did. So just, you've seen these already, you guys, but just a reminder, this is what we're doing next week, Thursday, the 11th, just to get that on your calendar in case you're looking for some cool cards. You don't need a lot of stamps with these. I do have maybe 15 or 10 sets left of this one in case anybody's interested. The Lighthouse Point, Happier Than Happy, and the Hollyhocks. So that's next week, you guys. So next week, the 11th. And then this is what I've been working on. So, oh, I should say next week, Monday, in case you guys are looking for some extra card kits too, or class on Monday. This is what I'm doing Monday the 8th. Okay, so this one's actually coming up next, and then I have the monthly class coming up right after it. Okay, so this is what I've been working on. And if you guys saw my showcase video, I did a showcase video trying to walk through and talk through like what I was thinking for the Sale-A-Bration Hoorah Rah. I said it was gonna be fun folds, and I tried to say, well, it's gonna be this fun fold, and it's gonna be these stamps and this and this. So this is what I came up with, and only one I had done is this one, right? So you guys, this is the tree lot dies, and I know the tree lot dies are gone, but I'm still making this as part of my class because you get all the little die cut pieces. All you need is a sentiment there. You're either gonna get gold or you're gonna get silver and gold, okay? And this one, you guys, so this is coming up Friday the 19th. So that's not a crazy fold, but it's a different one, right? Uses a 5.5 by 11. So from what set comes the beautiful cloud on the card? The waves dies. I think what you're asking, Simone, is this one. If it is, so for those that are watching, sometimes you're 10 to 15 seconds delayed. So if you could be very specific in the questions that you ask, it would help me like remember right away what you're asking about. But if you're asking about these clouds, those are the waves dies. Okay, so this is, hi Joanna. The trailer is so fun. Yes, you guys, really, everything comes die cut. Anna Rabideau's been working hard at getting all these little die cut pieces done already. So just a sentiment there. So, all right. I wasn't sure I was going to do the hippos again, but you guys really like the hippos. And I asked people last night too in class. I had 15 here for the catalog launch party, and they all love the hippos. So this one is using the hippos again. And so if you don't have the hippos, find some other animal to put in your wash tub, but your hippo is really dirty and he's going for a dip in the water. All right, but what's cool about this one, I've got another hippo on the inside, and he's in the lake or in the ocean, or he's out in the water, and you can't really tell, but I used that splatter embossing folder to make it look like kind of waves. And the little propeller is so adorable. You guys, it's probably hard to see that, but there's a little propeller, and this one says, love you a ton, and then you open it up, and then you've got him or her in the corner. And so I call this that flipper flopper thing. So, but yeah. So another fun fold for you guys using the hippos. This one's a little more soft and subtle. This uses that wonderful romance or wonderful world. There's a sheet of big flowers. And so everybody will either get a pink, a white, or a purple flower. And this one opens like, and this is stamped, this is paper, you guys. So all you need is a sentiment right here. And that opens like that. So a nice long card. Had to order some 12 by 12 white cardstock. All right, and last one here. You guys might recognize, okay, so I pulled in that Stylish Sketches. I had a hard time. I don't do a lot of guy cards, right? I think you guys that follow me for a long time, I sneak them in. I try as much as I can. But so this one I had that Stylish Sketches and bringing in the Ringed with Nature or Ringed with Love paper and a little fox on here. If you guys will recognize this, this is that mystery card layout. And so you get to use that whole section of paper there too. Oh, Penny Powell found the treats. I hope that your treats need to go in the refrigerator so they're not all hot and gooey. Yeah. Hi, Kathy Showalter. All right, so you guys, this is the Sale-A-Bration Hoorah Rah. That is a fun folds as well. Sorry, had to step away. What class is this again? Okay, it is the Sale-A-Bration Hoorah Rah. Thanks, Mary, for saying that too. It's the 19th, which is a Friday, or in person on Monday the 22nd, you guys. Okay, so they're done. Yay, I'm so excited. All right, but not only did I get those done, I also got the ink paper scissors for August done. Now, it's in September, it's September 1st, but this is the August ink, paper, scissors featuring Lovely and Linen, or Lasting. Hi, Kathy Groves. It's called Lovely and Lasting for the stamp set, but the suite is called Lovely and Linen. Okay, this is the one where it's fee-based. It's either $30 or $36 mailed, and you get the paper, the rhinestones, the embellishments, you know, all the ribbon that goes with it. So this is one of them. So I like to do the triangles from every now and then. And so I used all the different sentiments, and I know I used every sheet of paper at least once. And so this one flips open like this and goes down like that. And so the pink ribbon is what you'll get in your goodie bag along with these embellishments. So there's that one. I'll save this one for last because he's my favorite. And then one that features the designer paper as well. It says best of luck. And for all of these, I put the little slips of paper in the bottom. So you guys, this one again is September 1st. It's the Lovely and Linen ink, paper, scissors. And this one, my mom would call the gourmet card. I've seen lots of styles with the strips of designer paper, and I want to show you how to cut that and get that on your card. But this stamp is one stamp, and you have to stamp it 3 times for each of the colors. But if you guys don't have the stamp set, you could find some other floral image to put there. You'll get a sheet of white paper that you have an open palette to do whatever you want. But had to use up one more sheet of paper. You guys, I'm loving that layout where it goes like that. We've done a few cards like that now. But I love it. You get to, it's like happiness when you open it up and you see one more layer, right? All right. So that is what I have for you guys to round out the August classes. So yeah, you know, people are hit and miss for this class, I think, or the product. So I am planning less than I have been for like the last 2 or 3, unless a lot of you guys sign up. Then I might be like, oh, okay, I need to cut more. But Doris, I will get you on the list for this one. So this is, you guys, what I refer to as ink, paper, scissors, Lovely and Linen for August, even though the class date is September 1st, okay? So, all right, I was excited to share that with you guys. Isn't it always fun to see what's coming up? And you guys, this is the first class for the month, and there are 4 more after this one. I kind of overloaded myself in August. I didn't realize I did that until after I did it. So we have 5 card classes. We have paper pumpkin, and I will have to work on mystery card night because that will be coming up on the 15th, I think. So I'll be working on that card soon. All right, Carla, I put you down on the list as well for that Lovely and Linen IPS. So, all right, so we're rocking and we're rolling and we're ready to make some cards. Yes, sneak peeks are always fun, right, Mary Lemke? I think you guys like it. You've always told me that you like sneak peeks, so I thought, well, I might as well share with you now. So let me tell you a little story. I went into my drawer. You know, it was many months ago when I forgot my kits upstairs, and I had to run upstairs after we went live. And so I started keeping my kits down here that we're going to make for class. And I went through the drawer looking for my kits. I'm like, where are they? Like the monthly is there. I have Let's Just Stamp is there. I had Abigail Rose there, but I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, well, worst case scenario is I have 2 sets of kits unaccounted for at this moment. You guys, I made 96 kits for this class between all the in-person and the lives with this live. So I'm watching your comments come through. Hildy, I'll get you for both. I'm just going to write both. And you guys follow up with emails to our text messages or however you normally communicate with me. Always reply and send me a note as well. I don't always catch it. Deb Norman, you were asking, the next online lucky numbers is the middle of September. If you go to games and prizes in my newsletter, you guys can find the next, I think it's like the 3rd Monday in September or the 4th Monday in September. So it's out there though. So I went to look for my kits and I'm like, oh, shoot. Well, worst case scenario is I have a couple kits left over for class. I was going to do that. But then you know what I did? I put the kits right here in front of me. I must have did it last week already and I didn't remember doing it. So, woo! I was like saved by the bell. No, I was saved though. But on that note, you guys, at the moment, I have 2 classes of like this. I have 2 sets of kits left for this class. And I don't want to commit them to anybody, but I would put your name down on a waiting list if you're interested. Hi, Anna Rebadu. There's a lot of you that are already taking this class, so maybe you guys are all set. But I want to wait till I get through my Saturday in person, because in case somebody calls tomorrow and says, hey, can I come to class in person? I want to make sure I can accommodate somebody in person. But let's say two people don't show, or two people don't contact me to come in person, then I would have 2 sets of kits. And I'll put your name down, and I can always, that worked for, I think, Vicki Tillett, for Texture Chic last time. So if I can help you, I will. So, hi, Jeannie Parker, woohoo. Okay, so we are doing the catalog launch party. Elaine, you did this class already. Are you interested in the Texture Chic another set? I guess that's what I'm wondering. So send me a message. So Sale-A-Bration is the perfect time of the year to stock up on what you need, because you get free gifts. You get a free gift from Stampin' Up. You also get your name on my board here. You guys, this is the 5th board I'm on, and I only have 3. I have 4. I have 4 squares open. So by the looks of it, on Saturday's in-person class, I'll be doing a drawing for board number 5, and then we're gonna go right into board number 6. And so we're excited for that. With every 25 squares that get filled up, I do a $25 gift certificate. And Jody Storman just cashed hers in about 30 minutes ago. Woohoo! It was like 10 to 6. So hi, Linda Hall. So Sale-A-Bration's a great time. It's also a great time to sign up, because you get that extra like planner kit. So it feels like this is old history or old news for all of us, though, because it's been going on for a month and a week, right? But we're all excited anyway. So, no, I am interested. Okay. Oh, and tonight's kit. Oh, Elaine, I had a moment there where I thought we were thinking Texture Chic. I don't know why I thought that, but Elaine, yes. If you want to come in person on Saturday, I would love it too. If you wanted to attend in person, you can let me know that. And otherwise, I'll make sure that if I have them left, you could get a set of kits to go. So yay. Yeah, Deb, isn't that awesome? Number 5. So it's so good. All right. So we're going to do 4 cards tonight. And you know what? I actually had to remember to get my die cutting machine here, because I want to show you how to do some of the die cutting on 2 of the cards, because it's a different type of fold and layering. And Kathy Jackson from Iola, Wisconsin was very patient. She had suggested a card like this probably 6 months to 9 months ago, and we built it into a class finally. So I'm very excited to show her, especially this technique. So, and Kelly actually showed it for Technique Thursday a couple weeks ago. So let's flip down here. We're going to start with the hippos first, I think. And we're going to save that one and then that one. I like to put them in order. So I look forward to the last one, I think is always my favorite. All right. So if you guys don't have a demonstrator that you work with and you need, the catalog or the mini Sale-A-Bration, just let me know. I always give them to free for my customers. And if you haven't ordered from me before, you would just pay the shipping basically, and I'd reimburse you for the shipping once you place your first order. So then it's free, actually, how it works out. 105 people watch, and be sure to share, everyone. Yay! I know, isn't this awesome? For the last 3 or 4 lives, you guys, we've been breaking 100 people. Isn't that so exciting? Okay, so the hippos. Let's grab the stuff we need for the hippos. This is the stamp set and the dies. We basically need gray ink. If you have smoky slate, if you have gray granite, if you have basic gray, they're all about the same. Hi, Deanna Stell. Oh, wait, you guys, we can't get started. We have to do roll call. Are you ready for it, you guys? Oh my goodness, it's just gonna be it's like last week with Texture Chic. Francis Rodriguez, if you have an extra. Okay, Francis, I'll add you to the list here, and if I do, I will let you know probably over the weekend, probably Monday actually though. Okay, perfect. I put your name on my list here though. Okay, so let's see here. Awesome, I got you down as well, Deb. Okay, so roll call, you guys. I love to call out and say hi to those people that got these kits for me for class. They're either making them with me tonight or they watched the video and they put them together later. But we have Julie Frost. She signed up for this class like at least probably 5 months ago. She was first on the list. Hi, Helen Chase, Sandy Wicklander, Penny Powell, Angela Knutson, Kathy King, Nanette Desharles. Nanette, I have a hard time with your last name. Nanette Des. Sherry Martin, Becky Gandolfo, Sue Somerville, Mary Lemke, Gwen Petrashek, Carolee Crab, Deanna Stell and her friend, Judy Bobo, Holly Gentry, Melissa Engel, Feline Mays, Linda Grady, Carla Lake, Doris Munson, Debbie Schultz, that's Debbie Buzzy at work, Debbie, Betty Pyle, Pat Piscopio, Lynn Beasley, Jamie Tafoya, who is actually in Disney World. I saw on Facebook that she is traveling, so I don't even think she'll watch tonight. Jeannie Parker, whose I hope is getting better. Becky Rohrer, Laura Sullivan, Karen Wetstein, Sharon Rush, Shirley Peacock. Shirley was really funny when my mom was helping me do your package. She's like, wow, that's a pretty name. I'd love for my last name to be Peacock too. I think of a beautiful blue and green peacock. Marcia Long, Cindy Beestrom, Kathy Larson, Shirley Malarkey, Sue Spiegner, Mary Lemke. I have you on there twice. Huh? Do I? I think I do. Oh, you got 2 sets. Ha ha ha. That's why Mary placed an order a while ago and she's like, oh, I'll take another class. Okay. Whew. I got that one figured out. Carmen Melendez, Karen Stagg, Yvette Smith, Carolyn Ketchmark, Linda Hunt, Melanie Ruth Nicholson, Vera Anderson, Dion Miller, Mary Carls, Donna Grushke, Lori P., Cindy Miller, Cheryl Thomas, Latokia Trigg, Lila Erickson, Christina Bernards, Carol Selinsky, Maggie Cooper, Chris Saxton, Cheryl Stewart, Amy Ponce, Tammy Steckling, Barb Barco, Kim Cronauer, Carla Cordes, and Karen Cotton. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I read off 66 names. And you guys are all ready to go, I bet. I've jabbed on long enough. A jibber jabber is what I say. Okay. Oh, we're ready to go. Okay. So, all right. Hippo dies here. The dies are free with a $50 order, or the stamp set is free with a $50 order. If you do a $100 order, you could get both of them. So that's what we're using on this card right here. And, oh, you guys are all calling that you're here. Yay! All right, so this one's this way and a little bit like that. So if you notice, you guys, that these whites are 2 different colors. I had to say this in class last night because I don't know if anybody noticed this. The reason that they're 2 different colors is because this blue is actually from the note cards and envelopes that you could get for free with a $50 order, which is now gone. But this was the top, and then this was the back of it. So once I cut the top off to make the top matte, I had all of these backs here. Hi, Mitzi Stanley. So instead of, using it for something else, it became the inside for your card. Okay, so that's why you'll notice the 2 whites are a little bit different. Okay, so we're using some gray granite shimmer ribbon, and I had even made a note here, need to show the die cutting. So you guys have in your kit, yours is already die cut for you, right? So anything that is die cut that doesn't involve a focal image, really like where you have to cut around the outline, is done for you. So this is the pool party note card here, and then that's actually the back end of it, okay? So I had to run upstairs right before I started class because I'm like, oh my goodness, I have my dies upstairs for this. So these are the deckled rectangles, all right? So we're gonna do that little die cutting. This is already die cut for you. It's 8 by 5 1/4, no, 8 by 5 1/4, and then it's scored at 4 and 2, right? So let's get that out of the way and just show you. This goes like this, and this is for that inside, like that. So you could take, yours is already folded, you guys will want to burnish it, and then this one on top kind of flips back, just like that. Okay, and that's what's gonna go on the inside, and that's smoky slate. Your white here is a thick white. And now, Tammy Sokolik helped me do all these die cuttings of the frames. And what she did for you guys is she lined them up, and when she put them through her machine, she did the best she could do to make sure they were lined up exact. And then what she did is she put the die over the top of it. Now, the reason she did that is because I was not about ready to have her glue 96 of these together for you. So I think she just used a little bit of tape, and she just did that. And when we kept each sheet with each mat or base here because they needed to be exactly, they matched their pair. But I wanted to show you what I did when I was making these cards because I didn't want to deal with having to tape that or hold it down. I actually used my liquid glue, which I'm noticing there's a brand new one here. I pulled that the last time and I never opened it. So this is, if you're doing this card at home, this is what I would do. I would put a little bit of adhesive all the way around the perimeter and not in the middle here. So why I would do that is because I don't want this pool party mat to get glued to the white mat. So I'm just gonna put a little thin layer. So you guys at home, you have your die cutting already done. You have to just make sure that it matches up and then glue your mat down. So I'm gonna glue this and put that right where I want it. And I did not put glue in the middle like I usually do. Okay, so now we're gonna get the die cutting machine and we're gonna run this through so you can see how it die cuts it. So let's grab it. So this is called the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It is more than a mouthful, so I don't say that very often. I just say the machine because then I don't say it wrong. Hi, Mary Ellen. Back in hot Montana, you're home, yay. So then this goes in here like this, and this can go you got a little wiggle room, but I tried to have her center them. So this goes in like this. Now you could use a little tape to hold it down. Like if you have washi tape, that would work, or I have some low tack artist tape, but you want to get that in here because sometimes it will wiggle around on you, and you just kind of set that, and then this guy through here. Now it's going to make a big canuncle. So usually when I'm using dies like this, I like to put them in diagonally because then there's not as much pressure with the metal, but it's hard to do that when you're doing a whole piece of paper. So, oh, it did do the canuncle. But now, because there's two pieces of paper, I'm going to run it back one more time the other way just to make sure it gets die cut good. Okay. So that is what that is all about. So I'm going to move this out the way. All right. So now what happens here is your washi tape should come off and you're left with two die cut rectangles. Okay, so I saved this out of every one of them. And I did because I like to repurpose stuff. And I found a purpose for it in this card right here. So if you guys are taking the Sale-A-Bration Hoorah Rah class with me, you're going to get one of these back, which basically it gets cut and then it gets put to the outer edges there. Okay, so I reused that, so I hung on to it. But this white one here, you need to make sure that you stamp it the right way, you guys. So I noticed that my little machine plate left a couple little black marks on there, so I used my ink eraser. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Ann Dick Aquesto. So you have to, when you fold this, yours is already folded, you guys, so you're good there, but mine I gotta fold it now and then burnish it. So we basically cut two pieces of paper. Now this deckled thing, you have to, hi Barbara Godby, you have to be very careful when you stamp your hippo because if this matches in here exactly and it doesn't go this way, it actually goes this way. So if you aren't paying attention and you stamp this upside down, you are gonna have a hard time because you can't just flip it over. Okay, so just calling that out there before you guys get stamp happy, make sure that your rectangle fits in there the right way, not that it needs to go the other way. So mine goes like this, so I'm gonna make sure to put it like right over there like that. This thing is not sticking anymore. It's seen better days, you guys. This tape doesn't wanna stay, so let's take care of business here. Hang on, because it's gonna flipper flopper all over the place on me. I probably haven't put new tape down here since I put this new mat thing on here. Okay, there we go. So cut out that. So then this piece is gonna get glued in here, which we can do that already. So you gotta make sure when you glue this in that your 4-inch, like this, the fold stays on the right-hand side. So that goes in here like that. Hi, Patsy. All right. This will be for our inside, which we'll stamp here in a second. And then we have the rectangle too. So let's go ahead. You guys, when you see how easy it actually is to do that, you're gonna be making lots of these cards. Okay, so the hippo. So there are two hippos in here that work good. This one is holding the flower and this one's walking towards you. They're interchangeable. So if you're giving it to like somebody who likes flowers, you could put it on the outside and put this little guy on the inside. If you wanted, you could put the dude on, I look at him as the boy, he could be on the outside and she could be on the inside. It's really whatever you want. So, and then sentiments. I have love you a ton fits in there. You could also use you're so hip from that set, or aw, you really are the best. It fits in there. It's a little bit more of a tight squeeze. Somebody said that they didn't have the donkey set. I mean, the hippo set. They said that they could use the donkey set. I mean, you guys, all you have to do is find something that will fit on this little piece of paper, and that becomes your focal point. So let's grab a little piece of scrap here, and I'm gonna stamp my sentiment first. I'm gonna practice. You really only get a shot because you can't necessarily flip this piece over. And just to double check yourself, you guys, you could put it in there and make sure it fits the right way before you go and stamp it. So love you a ton. It's gonna go at the bottom. And then we're gonna put our hungry, hungry hippos. You guys remember that game? I brought that up in class last night. I said, we used to play that a lot as a kid. And now thinking back about it, I think my parents probably were really irritated with how loud and annoying it is. The game actually stayed over at Grandma and Grandpa's house. So we always played it at their house and not at my parents' house. And I can imagine why, because it was very loud with all those marbles going everywhere. All right, so there's that hippo. And then we're gonna put the other hippo on the inside. All right, so he's walking into the page. So I wouldn't put him on the right-hand side because then he's like walking off the page. So I generally like to put things in the right-hand corner, but this time it's going in the left because he's walking into the page. Yeah, those are... I thought about that last night. I'm like, God, I'm gonna have to ask my mom when I see her tomorrow. Be like, Mom, was it really annoying listening to us play Hungry Hungry Hippos? So I'd mentioned that you could get some pink blends or any kind of watercolor pencils or whatever you want. I gave my girl some painted toenails here just to make her look a little more festive. I hear grandkids always love that game. Yeah, it's just, who could get their hippo to eat the marbles the fastest, right? So then I used the dark one for the flower, and then I grabbed Granny Apple for the stem here, and then the hippos. So if you've got some grays, there's like a dark smoky slate. You could do dark gray granite, and then there's light smoky slate and light gray granite. So I'm gonna go with the dark smoky slate and the light gray granite. I think that's what we use. I think actually Carissa colored this one for me. She was here for a class. And I'm like, hey, you want to color these? And she did. So we're going to do light in the belly here, the belly area. And then we're going to do the dark one on the outer perimeter. So I think that we've got that going on for our hippos. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the brush end for her big nose here, or big face area. So... because then it'll give you nice, more even lines. Okay. Grandma and Grandpa are always good sports. Yes, Elaine, they sure are. They put up with a lot. Oh, they probably learned at that point, you can learn how to tune things out, right? Yeah, I can imagine. Because now, as an adult, and I hear like my nieces and nephew playing with that, I'm like, get me out of here. Get me out of this house. All right, so there's that. Hi, Jennifer Jones. Hi, Jessica Rodriguez. So we got her face area done. Now, your call. If you want to color your person or your little hippo on the inside, go for it. I generally don't do a lot of coloring on the inside. I think I didn't even do it on this one. Yeah, but definitely take it over the edge and color your inside if you want. Make sure you don't give your hippo a case of the gray eye, so try to stay away from its eye. Just like that. We don't want to color it in. So I do a combination of the skinny end and then the brush tip end that's a little bit thicker. So, hi Bonnie Kelly. All right, so you guys get to see me in my coloring action here. I'm not doing any shading. You know, if you like to shade, I bet you could do a little bit of shading with this and make it look super awesome. When it comes to coloring in small spaces, I generally don't do much for shading. So Chris is probably like rolling her eyes at me right now. So if she's watching, she's such a good color. So, all right, I'm gonna go back to this bigger one because it does a little bit more work in a shorter amount of time. I just don't like to do the small little areas with it. All right, guys, our hippo is almost done. And we got hippo happiness going on here. She's like, oh, can I give you a flower? All right, all right, all right, all right. So inside can get put in, and that just gets glued down. So we'll do that. All right, this guy is right here. So that's just a smaller mat than 5 1/4 by 4. So now the trick with this, as long as you stamp this right, you only want to put adhesive right here. Don't try to guess on the back of this. I wouldn't. What I would do is just grab your glue. If you use tape runner, that's fine too. Tear and tape is fine. But I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right there. And then what you can do is just nestle your die cut image right in there, and it should kind of fit because you cut it right out of there. Now give it a second to bond, and there you go. So that's how you would do that. Now, I may have had my kits here, but I definitely forgot my embellishments. So, well, I'm gonna go give me 10 seconds. I'm gonna go grab all the embellishments I need for all of these. I just need 10 seconds. Let me get the rhinestones. Okay, hang on. Best of pearls. Okay. I think I'm back in business now. All right, so we have ribbon. So you guys should have a little piece of ribbon in your kit. It's about 7 or 8 inches. And what you're gonna do is just go around your frame here, and you're just gonna tie this into a knot. And there's no bow. If you have your reverse tweezers, you could use that to hold it, but I've gotten really good at holding this with my thumb or my middle finger while I tie it. I hope I gave you enough ribbon that's in your kit, and it should be something like that. And then take your ribbon scissors and you can trim your tails. Okay. And then some rhinestone cowboys. Oh, did I not? Yep, there they are. I was like, I could have sworn I grabbed them. So you guys, I think I gave you 3. They're in your kit hiding somewhere. So you can put, I think I gave you like a medium or a large one and 2 small ones. And so I've got that, like 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom side here. All right. So we didn't Stella anything. What could we Stella? Oh, she looks like she's a little juicy. Okay, so I'm gonna take a chance and I'm gonna Stella the nostril nose area here. Give her a shiny nostril nozer here. All right, and her little belly area. So, okay. I mean, if you wanted to, you could go over the entire mat like this and give a little glitz. Hi, Patrice. Okay, but I'm good, just like that. It's a simple, it's a simple kind of looking card from the outside, you guys. But then once you open it, then you see that there's a little bit of action that's going on the inside. So I hope you guys like that one. So there's another card, I think it's the last card. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna show you the die cutting on it as well. Oh my goodness, I really got her Stella up on her nose, her nostril area. Okay. Stella the flowers on the toenails. Oh yes, definitely could do that too. And make her really happy that she's a little sparkly. There. Okay, perfect. You guys, we got 1 done. I hope that wasn't too crazy, but yeah, you still got an awesome card because it's got a different bit of a fold. All right, there's 1 done for you guys. And we're gonna do this one. Now, if you join, oh, you know what? I forgot to do one thing, you guys. So, and I don't know if you noticed it, but I thought of it while I was working, but can you see the outer perimeter here? This is why some people don't make cards until after I'm done explaining things. I sponged the edges with some smoky slate ink. So if you already have your card together, it's not too late. We can make it happen. So I've got my sponge dauber, and there's probably plenty of ink in it. And I'm gonna dip in it one more time. Simple but cute. Yes, I agree, Linda. Okay, so we can still make this work. You just have to be a little bit more strategic about this area without hitting your gray paper. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this right there. And it'll help me catch the edge. There's a will, there's a way, you guys. See it, catch the edge, but it doesn't let me hit the gray. There. I should have done it on this side too because I got a little gray there, but that's what you can do if you already put your down. I just sponged the edge of it. So, hi Vicky Fritz. I rarely do that, but I did it today on my swap cards. Yay! Okay, so I think we officially now have this one finito, finished. All right, so let's move some stuff out of town here, and we are going to work on the flower. So I was starting to sand this one. Hi, Mary Gunn. Hi, Ethel King. So this one right here for the flowers, we showcase those a bit because I did a mystery card not too long ago that was with the texture sheet, and it's the same layout. I was just so excited. I was having so much fun with that layout, you guys. So let's bring in what we need, and it's not a lot, you guys. I kept this one relatively low amount of supplies needed. All right, so let's get this over here, and this is done. Okay, so let's show you the fun fold here. So Randy Schultz, she's the one that I need to give credit to. Actually, I have, you guys, these are some cards that I cased for this class. So let's tell you this real quick. The last card that we did with the hippos, this was a card I had gotten from a swap from Miss Melissa Faust, I don't know, spring catalog last year. And so this is, I was like, oh, this would be a great one to showcase. So this is how she did it with that cactus on point. I think it was the cactus something. Not the cactus medley, but there was a different cactus set. So thanks to Melissa Faust for the inspiration on this one. The card now that we're working on, thanks to Randy Schultz, she had given me this card not too long ago. And so that's what the inspiration came from for this one. And you open it up, and then that was her card. So thank you to Randy. Yay. And then lo and behold, fun thing, Laura Sullivan, I hope you guys have Happy Mail. I forgot to show you Happy Mail. I put it off to the side. Laura Sullivan sent me a card. And I just got this. And she made this, her note was she made this past Mother's Day 2022 before I even did the mystery night, but she did the same, so she hasn't put her mystery card together. But here, isn't this cool? She used the same paper here and here, so when you open it up, it's like continuous. And there you go. So there's another one with this layout. It's so fun. It's so easy. So there's some Happy Mail I got. So I have to remember to go through the Happy Mail with you guys in a bit. Okay, so this is the card then that I did with the Wonderful World, and there is a piece of designer paper in there that has all these little miniature flowers, and so everybody got different flowers, okay? Some are purple, some are pink, some are white, some are yellow, some are all different, right? So just know that you don't have to, you do have to fussy cut it out, but your die cutting is done for you. So here's how that one opens, and then it opens like that. So that's what we're gonna put together now. So I used Bottled Happiness. That is where the Sending Cheer came from. And then the little flower comes from that Wonderful World set. That is the $100 item. If you spend $100, you get the paper and the stamp set as your gift. So, what do you guys have in your kit? Let's take a look-see at this. Fun and easy, but different. You guys, isn't that what it's all about? You want something fun and different, but easy. Like, we want that easy button, right? Okay, so I think Karen Wetstein reached out to me and said my measurement might be incorrect on the PDF that I sent to you guys. So all the people who took the class via Facebook Live, I emailed the instructions. Hi, Lorna. Like maybe 2 days ago, I think it was Tuesday. And somebody was here while I was typing it, so I was being distracted. I know that I was, which is no excuse, but I think that Karen said I had a measurement or two wrong on the PDF. So you guys just know, after I get the video links added to it, I will email everybody again with the new PDF. So you have your card base here, which is actually just a matte. And then you have a thick white, which is 4 by 10. And I think in the PDF I wrote 10.5. And that's because normally 10.5 divided by 2 is 5.25. But because this is a little bit shorter than a normal card, it's actually 10. And I think the reason that is, I didn't ask Randy what she thought, but I think the reason that it's 10, that this is 5, right? So if that's 10, folded in half, that's 5, and this is 5.25, and normally it's 5.5. I think it's because of the size of the squares here that are gets made into rectangles, that they fit really nicely at that, I guess. I don't know. That was only my guess. So what I would do first is I would stamp, if you guys have a sentiment, I would stamp your sentiment first, right here, okay? If you don't like the way you stamp it, let's say it's crooked, that happens, right? You have an opportunity now to flip the card inside out and restamp it. Meaning, let's say I stamp it here, right? And it's crooked. Then what I would do is take this and put it like this. Now this becomes the top, which a piece of designer paper is gonna go over, okay? So now you have the ability to re-stamp it. So you get 2 shots in the night with stamping your sentiment. Once you have your sentiment figured out and where you want it, then I would stamp my focal image, because focal images usually have a little bit more forgiveness if you mess them up and they're not straight, right? So, oh yeah, no problem, Pauline. This is, I would put this down here, and I'm gonna put this, I use rich raspberry ink, and we're gonna stamp that flower. The way that the flower is to me, I'm also putting this one on the left-hand side. If I put it over here, I feel like it's falling off the page. So we're gonna put the flower over here. And voila. If you guys like to do your envelopes, go for that as well. As long as I have the ink open, there's one more little thing here. This die and this die, they both come from the all that. He's all that sweet, but all that dies, I think they're called. And so I'm gonna do the sending cheer right away. And if you don't have sending cheer, anything small that fits in there is great. All right, Ann Bellinger, stay safe. Okay, so then this guy is gonna go right here. Hi, Mary Jane from Bay City, Michigan. All right, so sending cheers there. So that's it, you guys. That's all the stamping that I have for you on this card. Sorry, there's not too much crazy going on here. All right, so you got that. You've got that stamped. You've got your base here. Now, the green, this is your top. Now you've got these 2 squares. They're 3.5 by 3.5. Hi, Catherine Healy. Okay, so if you look at this, I've got the green up. But if you like the purple up, you could do that. But I thought the green matched really nicely with that. It kind of complemented it. So I did not score these, you guys. I figured that you guys, your designer series paper is thinner than cardstock. And really what you want to do is you just want to match up the 2. So I've kind of looked at the inside. I'm like, okay, well, my flowers are going this way. So I'm going to put the peaks like that. And I'm just going to kind of softly fold it and then burnish it with my fingers first. Because it's designer paper, it's thinner, you can do that without crumpling or wrecking the paper. Then I'm gonna take my bone folder and burnish it. I definitely was not about excited to score these down the middle for people, especially when it's so thin. Oh, you had bad weather in Kalamazoo. You know what? We got a little rain yesterday. I'm looking at this. I think I'm gonna go. So this one is gonna go this way. I'm gonna put it on. So look at your insides, because this is gonna go this way, and then you've got your flowers kind of going up and down. And then I'm gonna see what I got going on for this one. I'm gonna fold it like this. I would say once you fold it though, you gotta work with it, because I would not want to refold this again. If your corners don't kind of meet up, it's okay. It might mean that it's not exactly a square. I did try to cut them all identical, but open that up, and now I'm gonna put that on this side, okay? If you would do it the opposite, then your flowers look like they're gonna be going upside down. So when you open it, you kind of want your flowers to be going the right way. Hi, Sue Volts. So does that make sense? I'm hoping that you guys got that. So now what we're gonna do is we have to glue this back area to here, right? because that's the back of the card. So you can do one at a time if you want. So I'm going to put the glue on this flap, so the top of the triangle, and it's going to go on the back of this card base. So you can just shut this and hold it up to it, and your peekies should line up pretty good. So I'm going to try to get it up as far as I can there and down as far as I can here, and kind of nestle it right into the white right edge, and then that creates the flap here, and it's on the back side. So we're going to do the same thing on this side now. Just a little bit of adhesive on the top triangle. It was really hard to write the PDF for this, you guys. I'm like, are they going to get what it means? Like the top, the triangle, the bottom of the triangle. That's why it's so good, you guys, to watch the video, because I can personally show you what's going on. So this then, I'm just making sure it gets in there as closely and snugly as it can. And so now that back is glued, and now we've created the flaps. And our flowers are kind of going up, which is what I wanted. And now then this piece, right, that can go on, and then our back can also get glue, because you guys like knowing, you know how I like gluing at the sticks, open up the glue bottle once if I can, get as much done. So there's that. And then here we're going to put a little bit of adhesive around that. So let's do this one first, and it's just going to go onto your rich raspberry mat like that. And then this one is going to go right on the top of the white. Now there is no white inside. Hi, Kathy King, because it is a white card base, so it's stamped right on there. This goes like this. Now here's the trick, you guys. You cannot just automatically glue your belly band. So in order to get your belly band in your kits, I scored them. I scored them at whatever this number was plus 4 1/4. And then they got folded and they got put into your envelopes. But that doesn't mean that you can just go glue it right like that, because if you glue it just like that, it might not fit on your card. So it's going to be a little bit off. And the reason is because this is 4 1/4 and it was scored exactly at 4 1/4, but you have this wet, there's depth here, right? There's thickness, and it needs to kind of have the ability to come up and go over, right? So what you're going to want to do, and you want the seam in the front, right? If you put the seam in the back, you're going to see it. Or if you put the seam in the front, it gets covered. Oh, I don't know if you can see that even. It's really hard to see it. There is a seam right there. And if you put it in the front, it gets covered up by the little big prettiness on the front. So what you guys need to do is like open up your belly band, and basically there's that 4 1/4 section. That's going to kind of go right around your card. And then you're just going to gently roll it over. And it's going to catch on one side. The one score is going to be fine. It's the other one that's going to be a little bit off. And you're just going to slightly roll it over, right? So that you don't want it to, I wrote in the instructions, you don't want it too tight, you don't want it too loose, you want it just right, okay? So if you have it too tight, it's not going to want to slide on and off like that, right? If it's too loose, it's just going to fall down. So you want it just right. And that's kind of going to take a little time to get used to it. I mean, I've done it before where I've had them too loose and they fall off. And I've had them before where they've been too tight and then they don't want to come off. So you just got to make sure that it kind of comes around and kind of rolls over that edge. And then I use liquid glue there, and I'm just holding this like that. So kind of there's a little bit of little buckling back here, which is fine. You need a little bit of that. All right, so then now you've got your belly band. So if you get the belly band off and you're having the hardest time putting it back on because you're like, oh man, I have to write in the card. Okay. So what I would recommend doing is you just kind of bend the card a little bit, and then you catch the corner and you can slide it right on. Okay. All right. So now we have a belly band going on and the ribbon goes next. So what I would do is I would take my tear-in tape and put this right through the middle, pick this off, and I think you have about 5 inches of ribbon. This is that gray granite shimmer ribbon. You guys, I realized that after all the cards were, hi Lisa Spacek, all of the cards were made, 3 of them used this gray granite ribbon. Oh, you're in Las Vegas. Wow, you go, girl. I would not cut the tails right now. I'm going to cut the tails at the end. Okay, so now to put this on, I would use some dimensionals, but I like what I call is a track. So I'm going to create a track because I don't want to put more height over the top of my ribbon. So what I'm going to do is take my dimensionals, use the edge here, cut it in the middle, and I'm going to get one track like that and the other track like this, right? So basically you're not putting it over the ribbon, which is fine. If you'd put it over the ribbon, it kind of gives, the ribbon has a little bit of height to it. All right, so now the green, this is Pear Pizzazz, and it is with the All That dies. And I'm centered, so, you know, you might not have your belly band centered, so I'm not really looking at it that way. What I'm looking at is the rich razzleberry and centering the green on the rich razzleberry so that regardless of where it is on the card, it's centered with the belly band nicely. So far so good. This little guy, oh, you guys, I don't have a flower. All right, I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue right here. Well, that's funny. Okay, so we're centering this on here. I'm gonna have to steal one from a kit. Oh man. Okay, I could have sworn. You know, I gotta show you something, guys. I'll show you all the different flowers. Hang on. So that sheet has a whole bunch of different flowers. So some of you have a flower that looks like that. Some of you will have a flower that is a rose like that. Some got the pink flower that's like that. Some got the white one. So I made the card, this one's got purple, an iris. So I made this card in a way that no matter what flower you got, it was pretty, and it matched nicely. But I'm thinking I didn't have one in my kit, so I wasn't, oh, that's not the one I want. So we're gonna steal one out of somebody's kit here, and then I just have to remember to replace it. So let's see what this person got here. So when you guys, here, this is what I mean. So you guys got your belly band and it's folded like this. We had to do that because you couldn't have it in there diagonally. It needed to get folded. So what's gonna happen is the one side's gonna be fine. It's the other side here that's, the score is like right at the back side here. You're just gonna have to roll it around it, right? So the one thing that makes me sad is when, you know, you don't think about it and you just glue it, like you glue it shut. Well, then it's way too tight for it. So, all right, let's see what they got in here for a flower. Okay, oh, they got a purple one. So I will be replacing that one, a little purple iris. All right, hi Sue Somerville. Can make a note, so I gotta put something back in there. Well, now you guys get to see me fussy cut. Nothing special about fussy cutting, but I just try to get it done fast. That whole sheet of designer series paper has maybe, if I had to guess, 20 of these little flowers on, all different patterns. I should have brought the sheet down to show it to you guys, but I love irises. I do have some in the back, and they are purple, of course. I love my purple flowers. So this is probably the hardest thing you have to do with this card, actually, you guys, is to cut out this flower. So, boom. Okay, so when I glue my flower down, I'm actually gonna put a dimensional at the top. Carrie hates fussy cutting. Yeah, I'm not. I can say since 20 years ago, I'm not a big fussy cutter. I had to make 150 Christmas cards way back in like 2001. So when I first started stamping, I had a fussy cut, the same thing 150 times. And I just, after that, I hated fussy cutting. All right, so I put a little liquid glue at the bottom to hold that flat so it's like it's planted. And then just put your flower in the middle. You should have 2 large iridescent rhinestones in your kit. And I brought them here. They are somewhere. They are right here. Okay, so I cut off 2 here. Thanks, Carrie. I put one on the left and one on the right. Just like that. The Stella action can be the flower here. And if you wanted, you could do this side here with the pear pizzazz. You could even do the front of the belly band here with a little bit. Now, you gotta remember, trim your tails. So, let's put those there. The last thing I like to do is cut the ribbon on the card. That's because everything's pretty much set and you know what it needs to do. So that time I went this way and that way, but I was almost ready to cut it this way. I don't know, doesn't make a difference. Do you make the kits at your in-person classes also? Yeah, yep. So, and actually the in-person card, it's funny that you asked that for this class. Mom and I just started kitting up stuff and we were not paying attention to, so like, okay, so if I think about this class, you guys, I mentioned earlier, I had 96, 68 of them, let's say 66 of them are, let's say, to go, and the other 30 are in person. Generally what we do is we say 26 over here or 30 over here, and then the other 66 over here. The to-go ones, you guys get your gems and your ribbon put in the kits, and they get folded and they get, you know, put in the package so that they can get mailed like you guys get them. For in-person, we just put them like this in a white envelope or whatever. They get slid, all the pieces just get slid and all the tops are hanging out, right? We don't fold them or anything. And I don't put embellishments in the in-person kits because I just generally will pass my gems around like this. But for this class in particular, and you just asked, we forgot to say how many and how many. And so all of them got put together like to-goes. And so it was hard. So no worries, Donna. So there's our card number 2, you guys, finished. And so that goes up and then it opens like that. So think of all the fun pattern papers you guys have, or, you know, designer series paper, the complementary colors that you could use, like exactly like what Laura's got here on this one. She's got that purpley blue amethyst color mixed with the yellow, and the yellow has that color in it. So it's so cool to be able to use 2 different designer, and you get to see it. So many times you use designer series paper and you cover it up. This time you actually get to see it. So, all right, so here's the trick for putting that on. So it's tight enough that it stays in place, but it's loose enough that you can take it on and off. So there's our second card for this evening. And we'll just set this over here. All right. Oh, man. We're going to do this one next. Okay. So this one is the card that, it's a fun fold. They're all fun folds. You guys know that, but like to me, this one's fun. But it's not so easy. It's not so difficult. We love easy fun folds, right? And when I'm making a class for 96, I have to make them easy for me to prepare because I can't be sitting here. Like I do all your scores and I do most, you know, it comes like pretty much ready to go, right? So if I'm going to do a crazy fun fold, it's going to make me cry probably. So, and I don't want to cry. So this one features some product that is, let's get this stuff out of the way. This one, we need the Poppy Parade and Soft Suede. I'll move these out of here. And so there's some designer series paper in the Sale-A-Bration catalog. It's called like Ringed with Love or Ringed with Nature or something like that. And it coordinates with the Ringed with Nature. It's like a bundle, hybrid bundle. So let's get these out of here. And there's got to be another sponge dauber somewhere. Oh, I put it there. Perfect. So this is that hybrid embossing folder die set where, oh, let me go get it. Hang on. These are pretty cool because what you do is you take the die, this big die right here. And Rhonda did this 96 times, you guys. Oh, man. You put the die into the embossing folder and it locks in place, okay? And right there. So it locks in place. Then you your piece of crumb cake, and it's got to be like 4 by 6 or so, or 6.5. It was something like that. You put your piece of paper in here, and then you shut it, and then you run it through, and that's how you get those little stumps, the trunks. So cool. So when I designed for one of your classes for next month, or maybe it's September, uses 3 of the stumps here, and then there's 2 here, so there's a total of 5. So what happened is I didn't need 5 of them on one card. That was just a lot. So the 3 of them got put here, so that's cool. And then there's 2 of them that got put there. And that's how that works. But it's super cool. It's called a hybrid because of that reason. There's a couple sets like that. There's the Merriest Moments one, and then there's also the something in the annual catalog with leaves and flowers, I think. Trigs and sprigs or something. Trigs and sprigs, maybe? Yeah. So in this one, I've used Get Well Soon, but there's a happy anniversary that would fit here, or any skinny sentiment would fit here, you guys. If you don't have this set, there's really, I mean, there's not a lot of stamping on this one either. I've got Thinking of You in there with some mushrooms there. And all right, so that's what we got for stamps. Colors are Poppy Parade, Soft Suede, or some sort of like a red and some sort of a brownish color. And in this kit, you guys will have a lot of pieces too. All right, so your pool party base. Let's start with this. You got to be careful because in your kit, just to show you, is folded like this, right? It's not the right way at all, okay? So pull it out, but don't pay attention to really how it's folded. You need to refold it. We just folded it in a manner to put it in your kit. Oh my gosh, I love the mushrooms though. So Laura's not crazy about the mushrooms. That's what I love about this set. Are these look like gumdrops, you guys. That's what they were saying in class last night. They look like little gumdrops. Okay, so the way that you need to figure this out is you grab this piece of red, the skinnier red one here from your kit, and this red piece fits in one of these pieces. Okay, and it's not going to fit in the other one. It's going to be too big. So for me, mine needs to go here because that's too skinny for it. Okay, so when you have this red piece figured out that it goes on this side because it fits in there, then what I'll do is go like this because my humps are here. I'm going to fold it this way, fold it this way. Hi, Carol Jefferson. And then fold it this way, and then fold it back. Okay, that's what makes it now the A2 size card. It's now 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then take your bone folder and burnish it. And then now you open it, it goes like this. Okay, so again, take it out of your envelope. Don't worry about how it's currently folded. You might be reversing it. Excuse me. All right, so then that one's there. And then in your kit, you guys will have some of this, the twine. It's silver laced twine. It's thick. People either love it or they hate it. A couple people didn't even put it on their cards. They didn't like it because it made it thicker, but it's cool if you like it. You have a piece of white that is skinnier. That's going to go on your red piece, the Poppy Parade. You'll have this little 1/2-inch strip. You guys, you could always trim it a little shorter. If you need a little bit longer, you could always cut yourself a new one. It's just a 1/2 inch by like 3 or something. You have your 2 little stumpy stumps here. They are colored around the edge with the sponge dauber, so we'll do that in a second. You have a textural element, you guys. These are super fun. You can color these, and so I think I listed in there a poppy marker, so we'll color that in a second. And then you have 2 mushroom stumps. I promise you they're in there. We made sure. So you got 2 mushroom stumps, and you should have, there's one, mushroom cap, and, oh, there it is. There's a mushroom cap. So that's soft succulent and poppy and soft suede. And then you have 2 branches, and theirs are coming out. So that's what we have. Oh, and then these 2 are the same size of designer paper, and 2 are the Poppy Parade, the same size. So I know you guys are really anxious to start assembling this. No problem, Julie. So let's just assemble these pieces of paper just to get them on your card so that they're not sitting here. So this is the easy part. you know, you should be able to like see, okay, well that mat goes on there and they're the same size. So I'm gonna flip both of these over and we're gonna put the adhesive on the back side and just line these up on your Poppy Parade mat there. And then this one goes on here. Okay, so there is a direction to this paper. You wanna make sure you get that on your card the right way. Where this one, there's not so much. You might look at it and see, okay, well, you like this pink color on the side, you want it to be seen on that side, or you might be like, I don't like that so much, so you can figure out how you want to see it. But the main thing with this is you do not put glue over the whole thing. If you do, you're going to accidentally be gluing your card shut. So what you want to do, and this is what people and I we figured out in class last night, it's easier just to put the glue on here and then set this into it, because then you're not going to risk going over. The other thing you could do, sometimes you'll see me, I'll put the glue on the left edge and then I'll put the glue on the right edge here. But either way, you just don't want to over glue the edge. So we're just going to put a little rectangle there, and then that should fit on there like that. And then we did not risk, you know, gluing that side. Now for this one, he's going to fit right in there as well. You're only going to put glue on this area here. So might as well go ahead and do that. And just set that right into here. I don't know, you guys, when I cut my stuff, sometimes that 1/16 of an inch sometimes disappears or it doesn't, but I'm leaving a little bit of pool party if I can around that edge. So I'm not putting it all the way to the edge here. I am leaving a little bit of pool party there so you can see it. Okay, so there's that part going on. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could maybe glue this down already, the red one. You could if you wanted. I'm gonna wait to glue my white though until I stamp it. So we're at a point though, I think would be good to stamp a little to get some of that done. So let's set that off to the side. Now the soft suede, there's a little sponge dauber, and you can just put a little, it just helps to accentuate the stump a little bit around the edges. Thanks, Doris. Yeah, so Cindy said she loves the colors of this DSP. I do too. I love the evening evergreen. I didn't ever think to put Poppy Parade with evening evergreen and soft succulent, but you know what? It works. So that's the sponge dauber in action. And then we have this piece. And I've got some mushrooms there. Just for Laura. I think they're adorable, but to each their own. But I think that's because of my love for Mario. So I'm gonna grab this and we're gonna put the Thinking of You in here. And I'm gonna make this a get well card. So there's that. Okay, Judy Bobo, you gotta keep looking for it. My mom and Diane and I, we looked over every single one. And Anna die cuts, she cuts exactly, it's stuck to something. I bet you any money is stuck to something, because when you guys, the static electricity with the cards, not that I don't believe you, Judy, I'm just saying, like, look a little harder, because we made sure everything was in those kits. And you know, sometimes things get lost. You know what? It could even snuck out and gone into the packaging, right? Because sometimes, I think I want to do my mushroom tops first. Like, it could have maybe wiggled its way out of the envelope. If you have your packaging, you could look in your packaging. But hopefully you can find something else. Hi, Nell. First time watching from Northern California. Woohoo. I'm going to do my mushroom tops first, you guys, just so I know that they're going to be in the right spot, right there. And then I'm going to do the stumps after. And the stumps can be off the page then. But yeah, static electricity plays a part with it. I mean, we check afterwards on the counter. If we find a rhinestone or anything that's left on the counter, after we're done kidding, we open up every one until we find which one it was missing from. And I realized I did that at second strength, but this is okay. They're a little bit darker stumps. But let's see what second string. So we do open up every single kit until we find out which one was missing a butterfly or whatever it is. And we, we go and we'll take 15 extra minutes and go find it, and we find it. So, but we'll keep looking. So Judy, what I'll say is, I bet you have rhinestones at home, so you're fine if you can make the rhinestones work. But if for any reason you need a little mushroom cap like this, I can put one in your next package of cards that you have going out. Just let me know for sure when you're done if that's what you need, because I've done that for people. If they're missing something or they can't find it or whatever the reason, it doesn't matter who did or how it happened. We just want to, make it right. So if you need a mushroom cap, you just send me a message and say, hey, send me a mushroom cap when you have a chance in the next package, and I will gladly do that, because that is something that you need the mushroom cap for, to make this card so cute. So, all right. You find the red cap in the envelope. Yes. Okay. There you go. Oh my gosh. It's stamped on both sides. Ha ha. Did I not realize that the side I stamped it already? Well, now I get to pick which side I like better. I like the stems a little bit lighter. So Judy Bobo, I'm so happy about you finding the red cap. That's more important than a rhinestone. I think most people at this point have rhinestones or some sort of embellishment they could put on in replacing it, but the red mushroom cap is harder to replace. So, all right. That's what I tell people. Always in person, I've got people figured out. I'm like, when they say I'm missing something, I'm like, well, did you look in your envelope? Did you look in the garbage? Did you look on your boob? Did you look on your stomach? Did you look on your foot? Did you look and then 99% of the times, you guys, we find whatever is lost. So I know that on my kit here, I cut my red a little short, I think. So that's why that's like that, but that is the inside then, okay? So now we get to do the outside. So I'm gonna make this a get well. So let's grab this stuff back, and I'm gonna do it in soft suede. All right, yeah, it's fun, you guys. And the next day, so here's what'll happen. We can't find it, and then I go cut a new one, and that's fine. We do that because we don't want cards not completed. And then my mom will be here the next day, and my mom loves to go around with a Swiffer, and she will find everything that is lost. She's like, well, was somebody missing a pine bough thing? Was somebody missing a rhinestone? Was somebody missing this? Did somebody not? And I'm like, oh yeah, I know who that was too. And then I can joke about it in class the next time that my mom finds everything. So, oh, you guys, it's only ink, paper, and stamps. We know that. So it's something that we can chuckle about. So let's work on assembling this card here. So it's like, which way am I going to do this? There. Okay. So what I would do here, let's grab these stumps. So I actually glued my two stumps together like this first. And so I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Look in the corner of your envelope for the rhinestone. I've found one tucked in there real good. Yeah, you guys. So that actually came up in conversation about the rhinestones and embellishments. When I do these kits for you guys, I give you exactly what you need, right? So in this one, I gave you two. And I always wonder, do they come okay? Nobody ever gives me feedback that it's bad, or I should change it, or I just don't know. So I'm thinking, well, they're in the kit, they're safe, they should be good. But sometimes they do hit things, and they might be stuck to something that I get to. So, okay, I put my tearing tape on the back here. And what I'm going to do is weave my rib. So this is how that's looking. This little guy is going to go this way, and I'm going to loop it this way. I'm catching that tearing tape, right? And then I'm going to cross it, and then make a loop, and then I come back. And I attached it to the back of my stumps. Sometimes I'll see people putting it down on their card and doing it back there, but then it doesn't always sit right? So I wanted to make sure that it was looping out of my stumps the way I wanted. And then what I'll do is put another piece of tearing tape right there. Then this calls for dimensionals because that cording stuff, or that twine, is super thick, right? So I'm not going to put it anywhere near where I'm near but I'm not putting it on top of the cording stuff, or whatever you want to call it, the braided linen trim, silver threaded stuff. Okay, so that's gonna be popped up. That can go right on the front here. Something like this. And then I've got these two branches. One's soft succulent and one is espresso. And I looked everywhere in the hippo envelope and held it up to the light, but I'll keep looking for sure. You know what? You know what? At the end of the day too, Judy, it's just the rhinestone. If you have one, like just let it go and just grab a new one. My mom, she'll get to the end, and if like a class that 96 that we're kidding up, if she is short one and she's already looked 3 times and she can't find where it got doubled up, I will just go cut a new one. It's like, sometimes you got to say it's not worth the time to keep looking for something. Linda Hall had it happen with the stone stuck in the corner of the envelope. Yeah, and that's exactly where they go. You guys, when that post office, the packages get going everywhere, you know, that happens, stuff gets shuffled all around. Oh, Stacy said this is one of her favorite cards. Yes, I am loving this. Okay, so the leaves. So you're like, well, how are you gonna get the leaves in there, right? Well, this is how I would do it, because I didn't know where to put the leaves to begin with. Now that I have my stump down, I'm gonna take a little glue dot and put it on the end, and now I'm gonna stick that up right underneath here. Okay, so that one's coming down. And I'm gonna take a glue. I'll find them just like your mom, yes. And then we're gonna put this one right here, and that's gonna come up, and I'm just gonna like pull that up slightly, okay? I know I usually trim at the end, but I feel like this ribbon, I can trim that end, because that end's good already. All right, so we've got this little guy. Just gonna put a little bit of liquid glue. Hi, Pat Duffson. Then this one's gonna go underneath here. Because I didn't put a lot of glue all the way to the edge, I can sneak that up there. So it's kind of underneath. All right, so far, you guys, this is what we got going on. Now, the mushrooms, I would use, what would I use? I would use a dimensional. And I would put, how do I want to do it? I had an idea in my head. Okay, so this is what I did. But then I thought, well, maybe I'll do it a different way. I put a glue dot on the back bottom side here, and I attached the little stump to it, and then I put a dimensional. If you can do that without doing the dimensional, or without doing the glue dot, go for it. But it was easier to do it with it stuck to it already. So put it right the bottom base there, and then it'll catch. Oh, and I put them opposite. Hang on. This is just me being picky. That stump, so these stumps aren't the same. These mushroom stumps, one goes this way and one goes that way. And so I wanted the green stump to be, okay, so let's see. I gotta sneak this off of here. And we're gonna put another glue dot right there. And then put this on here. And let's try it again. There. And then this. Okay. So I think we've got our mushrooms prepped now, right? Oh, I think they're adorable. Oh my goodness, Laura, you don't like them? Oh man, it reminds me of Mario. Okay, so we need a dimensional on that one. So that can go here. And then I'm gonna put liquid glue at their base though. So a little bit of glue there and there. So the tops are popped up and the bottoms are flat. So this one, so I'm like, oh shoot, I should have had my get well soon. I don't know if I can pull this up yet. Oh yeah, I can. I'm gonna move it over a hair, right there. Something like that. And then I'm going to, that's ribbon, this is glue. I'm gonna trim off the end a little. There, and now my mushroom's gonna hang out like that. And then this one goes like that. Okay, you need to give them a second to dry because they won't want to stay sticking. So a little heat from your finger will help hold that bottom. So the bottoms are planted and rooted and the tops are popped up, but you guys, we're not done. So if you wonder about, well, there's no embellishments. Well, this is your embellishment in this card right here. This is a textural element, super cool. I used it on a card that we have coming up for a class. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. I used it on this card. This is a monthly class coming up later this year, and it's the little red balls that are here. So that one's cool. All right, so what I would use is my Stampin' Blend, but I wouldn't use the brush tip end. I would use the fine tip end because it won't get as demolished. And I don't know if you guys can, I'll try to zoom in. You guys can see how I'm coloring this. Just color it. So if you don't like the crumb cake for the branch part of it, you could also color that green if you wanted. And then once you're done with the first, it kind of bleeds. As you start to color it, it does a little bleeding. Oh, Judy, you're very welcome for that door prize. I did get some door prizes out to those people who had kits recently. I still haven't mailed cards yet. So for those that have won cards this past month, I should say in July, later in July, I haven't gotten them out yet. They are still here. So don't think I haven't forgotten. So if you color them once and you want them a little bit darker, you could also go over them again. But I wouldn't use the brush tip for this, you guys, because it will, like whenever you color a hard object with your Stampin' Blends, it kind of like will eventually wreck the tip if you keep doing it over and over again. So isn't that cool? So you can definitely get that colored. And let's zoom back out. I don't do this very often, you guys, that whole zooming thing. All right, so now you're like, well, what about, how do you get that in there? Well, grab a glue dot. And I'd actually do two. So we're gonna put a glue dot. Hi, Arliss. Hi, Becky Gandolfo. All right, so then we'll grab another glue dot, put that here. And now this guy, it's just gonna, you're gonna sneak him in, find a little spot, get him in there. And he's just gonna hang out right there. And there we have it. We already studied the mushrooms, so we got them going on. Yeah, when you open this guy up, it goes like this. So it is not overly complicated. For those that got the PDF tutorial from taking the class, I have all the measurements in there. I'll make sure. Hi, Philly Cinto. Hi, Marilyn Skorker. Thanks for sharing. I will make sure that the things that Karen told me that were incorrect, I'll get them updated. But just a little coolness on the front of your card, some mushrooms growing out of the stumps, right? So, oh man, I like this one. All right, so we got one more fun fold. All right, so let's clean this up. Again, you guys, this was so easy. You really just needed a little bit of stamp, just 2 stamps. Shirley, would the blender pen work with ink pad to color? You know, the blender, you know, I think you're talking a water-based blender pen. I don't think it's gonna give you as much color as you're looking for, but you can try it. By all means, give it a try. What Shirley just asked you guys is, let me grab it. I think what she's asking is, can you use this blender pen and dip in the ink pad and then color it? And so this is a solution. So I don't know how good the color is going to look once if it's going to go on there really well. Penny Powell says the mushroom cards are favorite. I love it. So good question though. You can try it. You'll try it on the back side and see if it works. But if it doesn't stick, then don't be surprised. All right. So that is our mushroom card. I was so sad that this one's gone and we're going to be moving on. I think I cleaned everything to other cards. I loved them. I had so much fun making this card. Thanks, Susie. All right, so let's grab the last one. Is a Christmas card. All right, so it's using those tree lot dies. So this one's this card here. Okay, I love the card you received on your left, lavender one. Yay, thanks. We'll go through the rest of these, guys. This is some happy mail that I got that I got to make sure I share with you. Okay, so the last one is another card very similar to the first one that I did for Kathy to see another example with cutting out layers. And so Wendy Lee did a card. Oh, here, I gotta show you this to you guys. This is my inspiration for the last one. I got this in a swap. I got this card in a swap from Sharon Hernandez. And so this was her card, just to show you another idea. We're using the He's All That, like the man suite that's in there. Using an ink spot directly, maybe. Oh, there you go, Hildenel. So that was an answer to the other question. you could maybe just use a little baby ink spot and color it, just put direct color on it versus using a blender pen. So, but yeah, I thought that was a really cool card. So, all right, so that's another, so when I get fun folds from people in swaps, I hang on to those cards. And this one, I'll show you guys this too, but this is that little cabin set that I got. This was the card I got that I used for inspiration for that one. So, whew, okay, this was a card I saw on Pinterest. Wendy Lee had made it using a turtle, I think. So, and it's got this mechanism on the side here for a popping up. So, in your kit, you guys, let's grab your kit. Oops, that fell. So I accidentally started to glue this. So I let it dry and I put it on plastic so I could reuse it. So this is the silver and gold paper, you guys. So you either got silver or you got gold, right? They're pretty each way. So this one, you can see was the gold. If you got gold, you got gold ribbon. If you got the silver, you got silver ribbon. And I'm just seeing I don't have gold ribbon, so I'll have to go get some. But this is featuring the Trees for Sale stamp set, which is in the mini, but the tree lot dies, which, sad to say, they are retired. They are already out of inventory. But you know what? I wasn't going to change my cards up for class. Like, they're made. I'm going forward with it. And I do, you know, I shouldn't say I do. Anna or my helpers and Tammy do all the die cutting, so you don't necessarily need to have the dies to make the cards. So, this is a stamp set. The dies, I don't know, they're upstairs, I think, so I didn't grab those, bringing them down. In your kit, there's lots of little pieces on this one too, you guys. So let's look and see what you have. So you've got a stitched white ring, a right rectangle, which fits onto a Mary Merlot mat. So that'll be for the top here. So we'll stamp that in a second. You have a Mossy Meadow back mat. Your Mary Merlot is 10.5 by 4, scored at 5 1/4. So there's that. That'll go here. Your designer series paper is like 5 1/16 by 3 13/16. This is the same thing where we did on the first card. You want to put your adhesive just around the outer perimeter. You don't want it where the circle is going to get cut out. So we want it to be able to stick. Now, you guys have yours already die cut. So I had mentioned on that first card I wasn't going to have Tammy going through and gluing everybody's and then die cutting them. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here. And, oh, I just realized I have my scraps from the first card that I can use on this card because they're long enough. Ha ha. Ha, I didn't throw them away. I'm like, oh, I can use those somewhere. Okay, so in your kit then you guys also have these 2 trees that are from the tree lot dies. You may need to do some poking out. You'll have a scalloped circle in Mossy Meadow, a white circle, and you have a red circle. And the red circle actually is from your mat. So I'll be getting that in a second when I cut. And then you'll have, this is like a 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. So you can get 8 of these out of a sheet. They're scored at 1 inch, like 1, 2, 3, and 4 inch. And then you have this little tab that is about 3/4 by 2 and scored at 1. Okay. And then you have a white mat for your inside. But we need to do the die cutting. So I wanted to show you again how to do that because why not twice, right? So grab your machine and make some room. You guys love my plate. That is so loved. Okay. Again, I'd spread this out like this. And you're going to put the die where you want it. And I had a little piece of tape, so I'm going to grab that back. You know, and you guys, anywhere you want. You could put it high, low, like when you're designing and doing your own card. I just wanted this one a little bit closer to the top and then centered from left to right. All right, so then, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do 2 trips, or like, you know, forward and backward. Okay, so what that did is it cut out these, and I saved that circle because I thought, oh, I'm going to make something else with it. I probably should have just put them all in your kit so that you guys could have made something else with it. Hi, Mo. All right, so that was, these layering circles are all, they're all from that die set. So you need to, this is what you need to keep for in your kit. Okay, so I'm going to move this out again. Can you tell that I really love my plates? They get used a lot. Okay, so now we have that ready to go. That's it. I don't know about doing 3 pieces of paper. Like, you could try 3, but I honestly, when you start having 3 pieces of paper that thick in there, it starts to get squishy in there. So this gets folded. All right, and I think we can burnish that. All right, so let's do our stamping, because then we can keep assembling. So we'll set that there. We need this and this and the piercing mat. So we'll do Mary Merlot is our color for the ink for the red. We got our fill with Mary Merlot with a wash and beauty class last week Thursday. So this guy goes here. And good, very nice, very nice. That's it for the Mary Merlot. And then I've got 2 green colors. I've got Pear Pizzazz here and Mossy Meadow. You could probably use like 2nd or 3rd strength for the Mossy Meadow and skip the pear, but I liked having 2 different greens in class so that people weren't using the same ink pad for the 2 different stamps. So if you want, you could stamp off. Let's see here. Put this little guy right down on the bottom. And then I'm going to do Mossy Meadow. So this one has a little, thanks for sharing, Jeannie Parker, a little bit of forgiveness. When you guys do 2-step stamping, usually I would do the detail first and then the solid. But for this one, it's like they don't need to match up exact. So it actually is okay that you do, you know, it doesn't matter which one you do first. So that's it for our greens. And I think that's it for stamping for that. All right, so let's move this out so we can get a little bit glue happy now. So let's see what we can do. This one gets flipped over, this gets flipped over, that can get flipped over, and you guys, we're gonna do 4 things. Holy Moses. And that, okay? I promise it's gonna be okay. So this little guy, our white inside, this white strip here, and then our Mary Merlot mat. All right, first things first. Let's get rid of this guy. He'll go on here. When is the Abigail Rose class? It is, well, that's a good question. I was going to say the 24th, but the 24th, it's the 18th. Online is the 18th, and in person is the 24th and the 20th. Yeah, I had to think about that, you guys. That's off the top of my head. So in person on the 20th, in person on the 24th, and then it is online on the 18th. So 2 weeks from tonight. So, because today's the 4th, so it's the 18th. Next week, Thursday, is the monthly class. Monday is the Let's Just Stamp class. And 18th is Abigail Rose. The 19th is Sale-A-Bration, hoorah, rah. Ink, paper, scissors is September 1st. You guys, that's why I was so crazy with designing for August. I'm like, I didn't know I had that many classes for August. What was I thinking? Okay. Yep, you just paid for it yesterday. You got it. Yep, it's I'll be mailing them out late next week, like on the Thursday or the Friday. They'll be in the mail. Okay, so you guys saw that. We just got some stuff glued together. No big deal. This will get glued, and this will get glued. So on this, where it's got the 4 1-inch scores, I would, and I'll be honest with you, I know that's not a lot of space here for gluing, but the reason I did it is because this is 4 1/4, and this is 2 3/4. 4 1/4 and 2 is 8 1/2, and 2 3/4 times 4 is 11. So you get exactly 8 of these out of 1 sheet of paper. Okay. If I would have done a 1/2 inch and given you guys a little bit bigger of a flap, I would have had to use more paper, and we're paper conservationists, right? So it'll work, I promise, it'll work. So I'm gonna just burnish these edges really nicely. We're gonna create a little box. It's not a box. We're creating a little tube. Okay, so we can do, this gets glue, and then this little ridge here gets glue. So be careful not to do a lot because we've got a little area to work with, so you don't want it oozing all over on you. Okay, so just a little bit. And then a little green there. So what you could do to glue this, you see how it's kind of in the middle here, and then that just folds over. That's probably the easiest way that I would say to glue that, okay? And then it opens up and you've got this nice little tube, okay? Then this goes on here, right in the center. And this little guy now. You're gonna glue the bottom here into the card, okay? And then eventually we're gonna glue right here so that it holds itself to the bottom and to that top flap. So when it opens, it goes with it, okay? So I would say, let's see if I can do that a little bit. We're gonna put the glue, and sometimes I think about where's the seam, that I don't want that seam right at the top. So I'm gonna put that seam into the fold here. So a little bit of glue right there, and kind of wedge it up into the corner, right? And center it left to right. And what I would do is make sure that it still folds good, but it adheres, so you've got that glued right in there. Okay? All right. Now, we're gonna put a little bit of glue there. And then this should shut on top of here. Hi, Kathy Jackson, we're working on your cards. And you do not want to put glue here though, right? So that was, like, you don't want glue there. So now this opens up and it's attached on the bottom and like the top here. Okay, so now you have this little tab thing. So that little tab, you fold it and then burnish it. So Kathy, I don't know when you joined, but I showed how to do the die cutting of this card and the hippo card so that you could see how the layers get created. Okay, so this little tab is going to go right here. So, oh, Carmen likes this card, yay! I bet Carmen will be making some more of these in her own versions. Okay, so then this one's gonna, that little tab fits right there. If for any reason your circle is up a little higher and your, I should say your circle is down a little lower and your tab conflicts with the circle, just cut your tab shorter. It doesn't have to be as long as it is. So that little tab is there, right? Okay, just hanging out. And now we're just going to put a little more glue on the top of the tab. And you're just gonna nestle your circle right back in the hole that it came from. Okay, right there. And give it a second for it to bond. And then as long as you got it in the hole, right, it should open and shut just like that. It's super cool, right? Like, it's actually not that difficult when you think about it. And I was just really happy I remembered to put your little tube and your, like, everything in. I'm pretty sure that I didn't forget anything on any of these cards. Oh, went through a little spell, I think, during the month of June and July where it was just a lot to plan with that Summer Creative Escape, you guys. And there was a lot of moving and flying things everywhere. Oh, man. So you can poke out any of the little pieces here from your tree. If they're ever to the point where it's not cut all the way through, like if that happens from time to time, like I noticed that this one here is a little bit tough, you can always take your scissors and you can snip around it and help it a little bit. You know, just trim that little bit. I can't even see it. I can't see this close. Can just help it a little bit. Just don't hurt yourself in the process. I'm actually going to use the tool here and see. I noticed that I didn't cut this so good, but usually I can finagle it by just, you know, the cut is started. It just needs a little bit of help. So just get it and then it's good. There's just a couple like little tough spots on it. Cheryl Stewart, can I explain the little tab again? Yes. So, all right. If you have your little tube in here, right, like this, if you have the little tube glued on the bottom and the top, what you do is you take the tab. Let me grab the tab out of this, whoever gets this kit, hang on. So, all of your pearls, when you guys open this kit up, all your pearls were in between the green and the white on that one. Okay, so you have a little tab. Let's see if I can find the little tab in here. Oh, I bet it's still in the envelope. Oh, no, right there it is. Okay, here's the little tab. You're gonna take the tab and fold it in half. All right, you're gonna put glue on, so the fold is here. You're gonna put the glue on the back side, and it gets glued. The lighting is so not good with how dark this red is. It gets glued right here. Oh, can you guys see that? Trying to... So it gets glued right on the top of the tube. So what I did is I pretend the circle's not here. So I set it down and I glued it right on the tube. And then you have this flap right here. And then the glue went here and then the circle got glued on top of that. Okay, I hope that helped. The tab tucked under the circle. Yes, is the tab tucked under the circle opening? Yes, it is. So, so you have your little tube, and that tab is glued right there. So the tab is glued down, and that one edge comes up, and now the circle is attached. Like that. Okay. Oh yeah, so Melanie said that happened with her one, a die. Yeah, if you can line them up exactly, you can usually make it work. But if you don't line them up exactly, then it cuts it twice and then you gotta start over. All right, so we're putting that all back in there. Okay, so we have our tree now, and we're gonna grab our Stella-A pen and a scrap piece of paper. All right, Mary got it. Woohoo! Okay. Hopefully that extra little showing helped. I don't know, Julie Frost, if you got yours figured out. Okay. We're going to Stella our tree. We're going to Stella it before. So now that you guys have made this card, you know, I feel like you might be intrigued to make another one because it's not so difficult. I don't think. Like, it was hard for me to, like, trying to read the instructions and figure it out myself. But I'm like, well, once I made it now a couple times, I think I got it. So I'm going to put little bits of glue. I know this would be a perfect die to use your sticker adhesive sheets with, you guys. But on this one, you're going to have to put a little bit. Oh, good. Julie got it. You have to put a little bit of liquid glue in strategic spots. Okay. And then this should fit right over the top of that. Okay. Nice. All right, then we have to put the tree onto here, which I believe I popped up with dimensionals. And then, oh, we need the tear and tape. So you have this and your ribbon. So depending on if you got gold, you got gold. If you got gold, silver, you got silver. But what I did is little tear and tape on the back. So you have maybe 3 or 3.5 inch. I can't remember how much my mama cut, but you've got, I have my tails left over from the other one actually that could have worked very easily if I would have thought about that. But I'm just gonna put that like that. And we're gonna put a little bit more tear and tape right over that. And we're gonna trim that one shorter. And I didn't even have to cut the edges because they were cut at diagonals. So now we have to just finish with some dimensionals. Yep, that one should be fine. I was gonna say, just be careful that you don't go too high right here because that part right there, you don't want adhesive right there. So what I would put down first is the tree because I want that centered here. Like that. And then what I tried to do is make it like it was on the ledge, like to make it grounded. So something like that. And then, nice. I am going to trim my tails because I noticed that they're too long once I got them on here. So we're going to trim him. And that one. All right. I think we just need to put some pearls on. And the pearls are from something called Festive Pearls. And when you get these, you think, they're actually called red and green adhesive back pearls. But that's not right. They're festive pearls. So I think that's wrong. But the red ones are tucked up in here. And so everybody either got 3 silvers and 2 reds, or 3 reds and 2 silvers and a gold. Everybody got a gold one. And the gold one I put at the top for like to represent a star. And then the other 3 are just on here anywhere. So I got silver, a red, another silver over there, another silver. I did pop up the tree, Penny. I did. I popped it up. And a silver here, and one more red one can go over here. So there's silver and gold pearls on the card, regardless if you got silver or gold. Oh my goodness, there's some back there. Could have used those. Okay. So, hi Karen Wetstein. Yes, it was another fun fold, right? Oh man. Okay. So, that's what we got. I will tell you guys too, out of 96 of these mats, I intended for them all to be still, the lines going up vertically. I think one section of maybe 20 of them got put in my cutter going the other way. So you may have your lines going horizontally, and I asked people about it, and they're like, it's okay. If they're going horizontal versus vertical, it really didn't make or break the card, and it still looked really cool. So just a little heads up that some of you might have horizontal. That's where it comes down to measure twice, cut once, right? And in this case, it was make sure your paper's in there the right way. All right, so we got our 4th card done. And so what we'll do is we'll bring them all in and show you guys what we all did tonight. As a reminder, in case somebody joined late, these are what we made. If you came in late, you can always catch the replay of this class. We did 4 different fun folds. Some more fun than others, right? But in the end, they're all very easily recreatable, I think. What's easy, like that's what I like doing about the fun folds. I try to pick ones that aren't over the top crazy, that are easily reproducible, that you guys have the inspiration to go make these cards with other paper, with other stamps, with other embellishments, something that you have already at home, hopefully. So Carrie loves them all. Yay. Woohoo. Dab said another great fun fold. So yeah, you guys, this was fun folds. And then we have the next fun folds will be the Sale-A-Bration Hoorah Rah cards, which if you guys came in late, you can check from the beginning of the video, because I did show the fun folds that these are the next 4 for Sale-A-Bration Hoorah Rah are fun folds. So I usually leave, I usually do fun folds for the Sale-A-Bration launch party classes, because that designer series paper is free with a purchase. And so Kimberly said her favorite is the mushroom. Yay. Me too. I like that one a lot. And Laura said the last one is over the top. Yay. I like to use full mats of designer paper when it's free, right? Because I have extra paper. So another stellar class with the Rockstar. Yay, Penny. So that's why I go all out with the fun folds, and I usually do them during Sale-A-Bration. And then on top of it, there's 2 classes in the same month, usually because I have my escapes that first week after the catalog launches, and it's a lot to do a launch party at the same time as the escape. So they end up in the same month. So Ruth loves them all. Melissa said the tree and mushrooms are her favorite. Lynn said all the cards are awesome. Yay! So I do have between, I'll have to figure out here, Elaine and Francis, I saw them with their comments about cards. So I know I don't have any kits left at this point. they're going to be gone. So I will be producing a PDF tutorial for this and put it in my online store. So the PDF is already created. I just need to put it in the online store. So once I have it out there, it is free with a minimum $20 purchase, or you can buy it on my website for $11. So it has all the pictures, the measurements, the supplies needed, and then the step-by-step instructions with a link to this video. So that will be out there. I can't say if I'll do it tomorrow or if I'll do it Saturday or Sunday or Monday, but it'll be there soon. It'll be there by Saturday, because I always have a thank you email that goes out at noon on Saturday, so it's done by Saturday. So yay! Judy says the mushroom card is very pretty. A hippo is really cute. The tree is awesome, and the flower one is simply sweet. I love it. Okay, we have we're gonna do Happy Mail first, and then we're gonna do winners, because this is the launch party class. So in person, I have a basket over there, and anybody who attended could put their name in for a prize, and I have multiple prizes. And then anybody who placed an order also gets in for a drawing. So I have 2 different drawings that I do for the catalog launch party, and it's I give away Sale-A-Bration product. And so I'm going to do that one separate for my in-person peeps, and then I will be doing drawing for everybody who took this class, either regardless if you placed an order or if you paid for it. So we're going to do that last. So let me just set those. Oh, and then we also have the texture sheet cards. I can announce who those winners are. All right, so let's pull them out so I don't forget. And then we'll pull the Happy Mail here. So, all right, Flipper still skin this down. All right, so we shared you this one already. So this was Laura Sullivan's. It was her pre-mystery card that she made back in May. So we already showed that one. This one is from Miss Kathy King from Oregon. She did a fabulous watercolor wash. I'm so excited, Kathy. I love how you wrapped the ribbon through the little tag here. She used a Wash in Beauty, or the True Beauty stamp set, some opal rounds. So Kathy did the Summer Creative Escape with us, and Gina did a presentation on how to watercolor. So I'm wondering, Kathy, did Gina inspire you to make this? So it's so pretty, and she's polished pink. All right, this one comes from Miss Karen. I believe it's Karen. Let me look. Yes, Karen Wetstein. I second guessed myself after I said it. Karen always, I love it when she sends me Happy Mail. I took this and I showed it to Tyler right away because he was in the house with me, and so she's got a little flower on the inside. This is That Wonderful World, the paper and the stamp set that I just showed off in the third card, using some stylish shapes here. The color combination is awesome. So I love how that green just complements the purplies. Very, very pretty. So I got that one from Karen. This one came from Kelly Atchison. She is my upline, and I did a ladybug challenge with her. She did with her team, and so I got this card with some of the gifts I got. This one comes from Sue Somerville, and she kept it simple, you guys. Look at that. She used the note card from the Heart and Home the card pack, and the note cards and envelopes. So she kept it simple. I love it. All right, this one comes from, I believe, Beverly Smith. Yep. She has this cute little pockety card. I think this was, if I'm not mistaken, a paper pumpkin from a while back. They had some stuff like that, or it could be not even Stampin' Up. I don't even know, but it's so cute and adorable. And this was inside the envelope like this, and that was inside this big envelope. So I got this. Very cool. All right, that's Beverly Smith. This is also Beverly Smith. Now this is a paper pumpkin. So this one I remember, or it was a kit that we got for Sale-A-Bration, I don't know, a while back, but that has, I love little pocket cards like that. So I got that Beverly, that came. And then this one was from Christina Bernard's. And she also decorated, I love it, she decorated the envelope to match. Very cool. And it has a little arm that comes out like that. She's got some little brass butterflies. I love that. Was the ribbon from the New Horizons. The little bike was from the tulip set. So some flowers in the basket. So pretty, Christina. Love it. This one is from, oh man. I think about, oh, here it is. I was going to say Penny Powell. I'm like, I know I've gotten good about leaving the Post-it notes on, because I don't, if it gets to be a week that passes, I don't always remember. So Penny Powell, you sent me this one. This is that set. Oh man, it just retired. It was in the annual catalog last year. It started with an A, I think. It was towards the beginning. Art and Bloom, maybe. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. With some polished pink, I think. I think that's the same color as, yep, as Kathy's card. Very pretty. Dear friend. And the inside says, heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. So I got that from Penny Powell. This one comes from Linda Kester. This was the Nature's Thought. Isn't that a hybrid? Yep. Yep, Laura, this is the hybrid. This one over here on the left. This is the hybrid that carried, that retired last year. It was in the annual catalog. And then now they have a new hybrid in the annual catalog. Nature's Harvest. This looks like my class card, Linda. Oh, man. Like, I don't know if you cased the card or if you took the class back in September of last year. But Linda did the escape with me. And so I remember doing a card very similar to this, but I used a stitched rectangle around the edge. But I don't know if you took that class, Linda. I'm thinking back. That was back in September, so I can't remember that far back. This one is from Tracy Sorge. Woohoo! So this is Tracy's card that she sent because she's doing the bus trip with me to Indy. So this was the card that she sent with a down payment. So I'll catch you later, dear friend. And that cat with the fish. They're like, are we seeing eye to eye here that you're just going to stare at me and you're not going to eat me? I hope that's what you're thinking. All right. So that's my happy mail, you guys. Woohoo. Okay. So thank you to everybody for sending the cards. I really appreciate it. It's fun getting happy mail and sharing it with you guys. So then this one is the texture sheet class. Now, I do not know why the video went away, but I went to go check for the drawing and I'm like, oh shoot, the original video is no longer in my Facebook page. So I had to re-upload it. And there are 3 people, excuse me, 3 people that had commented. So those 3 people are the names I drew. And then I randomly picked another person. So da-da-da, the winner of this card from the Texture Chic class is Lorna Krieger. So Lorna, you were watching earlier. I don't know if you're still watching now, but I don't have your address. So if you could make sure I get your address, that would be great. You could email it to me right there, or you could text me. Da-da-da. This one goes to Marsha Long. So Marsha, let me know if I should send this with your card kits that I have going out, or I could send you it separately. As it's always fun getting happy mail separate from packages, so that's why I do that like that. But if you are going to be wherever you're located right now for rehab for a while, I can mail that there if you give me that address. Da-da-da. This winner chicken dinner is Pauline Turner. I don't have your address, Pauline, so if you could also get me that, email it or text it to me. And last but not least, this one goes to Sharon Land. Sharon, you get this little pocket card here with a little baby card inside. So Sharon Land, I think I have your address, but just to be safe, you might just message me so I have it so I don't have to go looking for it. That would be awesome. So congratulations to all those winner chicken dinners. Yay. All right. And then we are going to do a little random number generator. And we're going to pick, I have Sale-A-Bration product, you guys. So I've got extra Sale-A-Bration products. And I am going to randomly choose different products for people. So I didn't pull any of the product, but I'm just going to randomly pick the names so we can draw the winners with you guys live here. So I'm going to do 4 prizes for people who placed orders to get the class for free. And then I'm going to do 4 more for people who all attendees for the online version. So I'm going to put 66 in there and actually wait. Here's what I'm going to do because I had 20 people place orders. So I'm going to do those 20 first, pick 4 winners, and then I'm going to do 66. And if somebody who placed an order gets their name drawn again, then I go tell them to buy a lottery ticket because they're very lucky. But otherwise, I'll keep drawing until I get somebody new. So, all right. So we're going to flip down and we're going to go here and get out of Stampin' Up! And go to random number generator. And I believe I said I had 20. And Carolyn, I added you to that because you placed your order yesterday. So let's see here. 20. Generate. Number 13. Da, 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 da. 13 is Karen Stagg. You are a lucky duck winner. Number 20. Barb Barkow. She won last week too, lucky girl. Number 11 is Sharon Rush. Yay, congratulations, Sharon. And number 10, Laura Sullivan. All right. So we had Laura Sullivan, Sharon Rush, Karen Stagg, and Barb Barkow. Woohoo. Okay, so now I'm going to do So we're gonna do, if 67 wins, it goes to Elaine, and if I had Francis that said next, that would go to, I saw Francis, I think I saw Francis's comment before Deb's, but sometimes that is weird. So we'll see what happens if 68 gets drawn. We'll go that route. So because I got to go back and look in the comments and see who had commented first. So we're gonna hit generate. Number 14 is Deanna Stell. Okay, Deanne, you get a prize. 51 is Amy. Gosh, Amy, you are a lucky lady too. You won the Sale-A-Bration board, and Jeannie just paid me. Nice, thanks. All right, number 39, Mary Carls, and 38, look at that. Dion Miller. Okay, we're gonna do one more for good measure, and what I do is I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna come back in and reset it, and we're gonna hit 66. Nope, we're gonna hit 68, and we're gonna do one more for good measure. 36. Oh my gosh, they're all right in a row. Ruth Nicholson. All right, so how do the door prizes work though, you guys? If you ask, I like to be conservative and frugal with my money, like we all do. And so how the shipping works is, or how they work is, I'll ship them with your next package, and that's always how I do my door prizes. So it helps save shipping it, and then whenever you have your next class, I kind of hang on to it until then. So like it just happened with Linda Hall. She reminded me that I had a prize for her, and I'm like, yep, I do, and it's going out with your next class. And her next class happened to be mailing the day I talked to her. So all those people that won, you generally all take classes with me pretty regularly. And if you're like Sharon Rush, you're local to me, I'll put a prize for you on the counter in the mudroom. And if you, most of the names here that I saw that won, you guys are all like steady class takers with me. So just know I'll get the cards ready, and then when I have a package for you, I'll throw in a prize. Mary Carl's, you're local too, so I'll make sure to get that. You already have a prize. I think you won something last week. So Mom, I have it here. Mom's going to take it home with her tomorrow. So so you'll have two prizes then. So that's how my door prizes always work. So I try to save money with shipping, but I love giving out stuff, and that helps get a win-win, that you guys get some prizes and I don't have to do multiple shippings. So yay! So congratulations to all those winner chicken dinners. Yay! And you guys, we're not too much over 2 hours. I always try to keep the classes to 2 hours, but with the fun folds, it took a little bit longer to go over things. So yay! All right. I don't know. Did I forget anything? I always wonder if I forgot to say something. So, scavenger hunt. I did forget to say that, I think. I'm going to wait on scavenger hunt because I knew it was going to be a lot to go through it. Carrie, how do we sign up for classes or order? Here's the deal. If you want to email me at my email address right there, chrismbertram@msn.com, or if you go to my website, I have an events calendar out there. And most of my classes are either free with a minimum purchase, or they are fee-based, right? And some of them are only fee-based, but all of the details can be found on my events calendar. And honestly, the best way is just to look through stuff, and then you know what? If you want to give me a call, or if you want to set up a time to call, sometimes when people are new to me, I have so much stuff that it's overwhelming, and people get confused very easily with how much I have going on. So bye, Luann. See you guys tomorrow for Craft Roulette. So I say sometimes it's easier to pick up the phone and talk. So that's always an option too. But yeah, basically I need to get you on my class list, and then we figure out the rest from there. I just want to know what classes you want to take. And then I get you signed up for them. And I usually mail out the card kits about like 5 to 8 days beforehand. Sometimes if I'm really efficient, it's 2 weeks in advance, but it's always like on a Thursday night class, I mail them by the Friday before, right? So the weekend before the class. And then you can make the cards with me if you want, or you can hold on to them until afterwards. They're there for you whenever it works. So yay! Okay. Oh, she loves my card style. Good. I'm glad you do, Carrie. I enjoy, it was so much fun actually getting some time upstairs in my craft room to design cards, because I don't design down here. I actually have my craft room where I have my creative juices flow when I'm upstairs in that room. I've been designing cards up there since I bought my house 12 years ago. So it looks like down here. It's got purple walls and it's cream and it's like a little mini version of down here. So but that's where I like to design. And so it was good to get up there this afternoon, this morning and design. So yay. Okay. Scavenger hunt though. You guys, I decided not to do it tonight because I don't want to just announce the winner without going over the answers. So I am for Tuesday. Tip Tuesday is going to be the scavenger hunt review. So we're going to go over all the answers on Tuesday, and then I'll announce who the winner is at the end of that. So we'll have some time on Tuesday for that. I didn't want to build it into this class. It would have been too much. So Yay! Oh, thanks, Linda Hall. I appreciate that. All right, you guys. I think that's it. Good night. Have a lovely rest of your evening. And the same to you, Jeannie Parker. Lots of love and hugs and sunshine to you guys. Love you long time, Jeannie Parker and everybody. I'll see you on Monday for the next live. And otherwise, wait, Craft Roulette. We'll see you tomorrow night for Craft Roulette. That's next. All right, back it up, right? All right, you guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.